Today in this video, I'm going to talk about the gut health and brain degeneration hidden connection. They're connected. And in this emerging field in medicine, we're finding out more and more that the importance of gut health is important in almost every condition. So including chronic fatigue and autoimmunity. I've discussed those in other videos. So in this video, I aim to empower you and provide you with all the information so you can make an informed decision about your health. So today, I'm going to explain this fascinating gut-brain connection, share with you the big picture connections, and share with you the powerful steps you can take to protect your mind starting in your stomach. How fascinating is that? So did you know that health of your gut literally shapes the future of your brain? So recent research shows that diseases like dementia, Parkinson's disease, and other neurodegenerative diseases may actually start in your gut. So with that logic, let's start today to prevent the progression of such diseases for you. So the gut is really the cockpit of your brain's long-term health. So almost all cases of people with conditions like Parkinson's disease, dementia, or autoimmunity, they've got gut problems years before being diagnosed with that disease. So it might start with something like constipation or loose stools after certain foods, or even just reflux. But I encourage you to listen to those signals from your body. They're like a little red flag waving for your attention to get your help. From what I've witnessed in clinic, the biggest hurdle isn't knowing what to eat. It's moving away from that quick fix, one pill for a problem mentality, and set the foundation for real healing. There are many people who come to see me with brain fog or early memory concerns or persistent fatigue. They've spent years treating their gut and their brain as two separate entities. Like they've got a prescription for reflux or GERD or GORD, and they've got a completely different one for anxiety or sleep problems. And they're unaware that the same inflammatory fire is fueling both issues. So what I wish every patient knew is the gut lining, it's only one cell thick, extremely sensitive and prone to problems. And when that leaky barrier allows particles like bacterial toxins to slip through into your bloodstream, it goes all around your body then. Your brain's immune cells, the microglia, they go into a state of on-duty permanent panic. They're trying to put out the fire and that inflammation and that neurotoxic environment directly affecting your brain and energy. So think of brain fog, crashes in the afternoon with low energy, and frequent headaches. They're like little signs that something's wrong. Now, why is the gut linked to fatigue, those adrenal fatigue and thinking problems? So the gut's involved, it's got this big nerve called the vagus nerve, which is the most important nerve in the body, and immune system, and it's also involved with gut microbiome. So trillions of bacteria, or actually hundreds of trillions of bacteria, so many, and possible parasites or opportunistic bacteria, they negatively impact that nerve, neurotransmitters, and basically everything in there. Simply put, your bad digestion means bad nerve function, poor energy, and much more things like that. These healthy gut microbes, they produce neurotransmitters like serotonin. You've probably heard of that one. Did you know that 70% of your serotonin is produced in your gut? Also things like GABA, that calms your body, and also dopamine, that's produced in your gut. Yep, you've heard that right. It's pretty crazy because a lot of us think that it's in our brain, but there's more of it in your gut. These same brain chemicals are the ones that regulate energy, mood, memory, and cognition, thinking and remembering things. So how I think through a patient's case when they present with that brain gut symptoms, what's going on there, look beyond the symptoms. If you've got bloating, frequent constipation, or loose stools coupled with brain fog or irritability, your body is sending you distress signals, not just a digestive inconvenience of running to the toilet. So the three signs of leaky brain: reactive brain fog. Does your mental clarity drop significantly 30, 60, 90 minutes after eating specific trigger foods? That's a red flag. This often points away from the brain and straight towards that gut permeability. Increased sensitivity. Are you suddenly sensitive to light, sounds, or smells that never bothered you before? This is a classic indicator that your brain is inflamed. Chronic sleep fragmentation or broken sleep. If you wake up at the same time every night, like you're always waking up at between 1 and 3 or same time, your body might be struggling to regulate those blood sugar levels or detoxify, both of which are heavily influenced by the gut-liver axis. So why symptoms return when only you focus on probiotics? A lot of people just take probiotics. They dump expensive probiotics into their system, spend a lot of money, and still incredibly inflamed inside, and there's burdens of heavy metals on their environment. If you don't remove the insult, those processed oils, hidden chemical residual on food, or chronic stress, you're essentially trying to water a plant in a room filled with toxic gas. It's not going to happen. You often have to clean the terrain first and look at the big picture. I keep saying that. You can restore the lactobacillus or the bifidobacteria in good things, not cheap pasteurized yogurt laden with sugar. You got to look at live cultures like kefir. You can get water or dairy. They hold massive amounts of diversity in bacteria strains, much more than in a standard supermarket yogurt. And if you've got enough energy and you want to, you can actually make your own at home just by getting some starter grains. It's super easy. I do it. And you can use, if you do it yourself, you can use raw or good quality local milk. Raw sauerkraut as well. And raw, note the word raw, because if it's canned or heat treated in the supermarket, the good bugs are all gone. You want it the kind that's in the fridge section and it's still bubbling. It might have a little valve on the top to let the gas out. A tablespoon a day provides you that seeding good stuff for your microbiome. While fermented foods are fantastic, you've got to think of SIBO or high histamine levels. A big bowl of sauerkraut, if you feel bad, it can make your brain feel just even more pressure. And that's why functional testing, looking at the microbiome diversity or specific inflammatory markers, they can be missing. And if you look at that functional test, it can give you more data. So to keep your brain sharp, focus on the terrain. Make sure you have anti-inflammatory herbs like turmeric and ginger. You can put those in a smoothie, that works really well. Make sure you support the gut lining integrity as well with fresh bone broth in soups, or you can drink it straight. Bone broth, it's really the gold standard. It isn't just a trend, it's rich in glycine and proline. They're amino acids they're like the primary bricks to help repair your damaged gut lining. Zinc carcinine, polyphenols as well with colourful, vibrant fruits and vegetables with blueberries, acai, olives. They also help that terrain. Keep your blood sugars steady. Minimise the ultra-processed foods like those food products like fake meats or anything in a packet with preservatives or colours. Your brain is largely made of fat, so if you're eating inflammatory vegetables like soybeans, canola, corn oil, you're essentially building the wrong brain cells with low quality, rigid building blocks. Sardines and mackerel, they're not just fish, they're really potent, rich source of EPA and DHA. The fats dampen the microglia that I mentioned before, and that activation we talked about, and the brain's immune cells, they're essentially misfiring during chronic inflammation. Walnuts and chia seeds, they're a vegan, vegetarian source, solid plant-based to keep the anti-inflammatory momentum going throughout the day. Starchy tubers, sweet potatoes and yams are excellent source of fermentable fibers for your gut bacteria. They absolutely love it, and they turn it into energy called butyrate to help your system. Another really great fiber that helps regulate diversity in the gut is partially hydrolyzed guar gum, PHGG. You can easily find it on the internet, online, and it's really cheap too. It's a great one to regulate the diversity and the good bacteria. When someone says to me they ate clean but they still feel awful, I look for hidden stresses. There's got to be something going on. Are they eating the same 3 salads every day or the same foods? That's a common one. That's a big mistake. Diversity is the key for a healthy microbiome. It's also a good way to train your immune system and your gut. Your gut microbes, They're like a garden. If you only plant one type of flower, one thing, the ecosystem is fragile. We want a rainforest of diversity in there. Now start listening to those digestive signals before they turn into serious brain fog or even something worse. If you find even the healthy foods make you feel worse, it's a massive clue that your gut isn't just leaky, there's overwhelm in there and there's other stuff going on. It probably needs a bit more work, and that's why functional testing is quite helpful to pinpoint those bacteria and pathogens or even parasites in there, the wrong parts of your digestive system. It really helps laser in the focus and get results faster than just trying to guess. Learn more by watching the next video. We've only touched the surface in this one. Keep on watching.